What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 13 of the Nashville Stampede out of the Perk Baseball 24 series. We're here July 1st, 2028. Your Nashville Stampede are in first place, 53 and 31 on the season. A game up on the Braves, 3 up on the Diamondbacks, and 5 up on the Royals, who always seem to be here. Marquez not quite having the year that he had last year, so maybe that's a reason why they're not quite where they were last season. But anyway, yeah, it's been mostly good for the team. We're 6th in runs scored right now, 4th in runs against. The pitching got off to a really rough start, but it's slowly bounced back, and we finally have a rotation that I think could bring us to the playoffs here. We were running out Ashby for a little bit. He was just really struggling as a starter, and he'd been good like in the swingman role, like kind of starting when we need him, and then playing as a reliever as well. As you can see, as a reliever, he hasn't given up a run in 8 2/3. As a starter, ERA close to 6. So, my dude Henderson, who we got in a trade of Seattle a while back, he was pitching. He was kind of rough out of the pen, and then Ashby went down with an injury. I put Henderson in the rotation. He was pitching really well. I think things have come back down to earth for him, but as a starter, you could see 3.35 ERA as a reliever, ERA over 7. So he might have found a role there. Despite actually he has 50 stamina now. That went up, which is good because a lot of these guys aren't really going deep into games. Cam Robinson's been good. He's been much better lately. If you check out his splits by month, like April was fine, but not like spectacular, and then May and June have been very good. So yeah, his experience starting's been off to a good start. Not really giving us any length, but that was kind of expected from him. Kevin Gossman, the ratings have kind of dropped, but man, he's been fantastic this season. Check out his April ERA at 1 through 5 starts, and then May and June have been good too. Not quite as good, but he's pitching really well for us. Pablo Lopez, another guy who got off to kind of a rough start. See April, 32 innings, not great, and then May slowly improved. Now June, he's been fantastic. He probably is in competition for pitcher of the month if he didn't already win it. Okay, he didn't win it, but I guess this reliever won it. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, Lopez has been good this season. Blanco, another guy who's not giving us a ton of length due to the low stamina. I'm pretty sure he got off to actually, he was pretty good. He's been good all year. April, I think his first couple of starts were rough, but the April numbers overall look good. May's been great, and then June had an awesome June, despite only throwing an average of 4 innings to start, which is unfortunate, but I think, yeah, one of those was injury-related. So, yeah, he's been consistent. As you can see here, Yennier Cano made his way back to the team. So he pitched an inning and a third at the Dodgers, and they released him. I was just looking for minor league filler to fill our roster up, and he was out there. So I signed him back, and there you go. He's pitched really well for us. I don't know why they released him. So basically, we got Pablo Lopez and Kevin Gossman for free as we get Cano back on the minimum. So they're eating all of his contract, which I think was pretty expensive. Yeah, $6.7 million. They just ate. So hey, we'll take it. If you're gonna be stupid, we'll take your player. Anyway, yeah, he's been good. He's recently moved into the closer's role. Jalen Beeks was occupying that role, but he had blown a couple games in a row. The beginning of June is really rough, and then I moved into the stopper role, and you can see his game logs has been fantastic in that spot. So really pumped for him, carving out a role on the team. Middle relief has been kind of a revolving door. Jose Soriano wasn't with the team on opening day. There was something happened where we needed some arms, so I called him up. He's out of options, and he was pitching really well for us, so I didn't want to send him down and lose him, or waive him and lose him, I guess. So yeah, he's chilling with the team for now. I don't know if he'll stay up here, but for now he's here. Tanner Banks has been fantastic as always. Zach Jackson was a little shaky for a bit. Yeah, his April and May weren't fantastic. June has been fine, but I like his ratings. He's out of options. Don't want to lose him, so he'll chill around here for a little bit more. And then Giovanni Moran has been great, as he's been every season in the save. Just fantastic. So yeah, we're pumped that he's doing well. And then we talked about Ashby already. So now we swing over to the lineups, which it's been a bit of a different story. Some underperformances by guys we were kind of banking on. So let's start there. So Katsuhiro Kira was absolutely abysmal. The first 2 months of the season, April and May, batting average around 200, not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, only 6 home runs, and then June's picked it up. But yeah, it's been a disappointing start to his season. I'm not sure what's going on there, but his outfield range now up to an 80. Goodness, yeah. He might be moved to center field pretty soon with that. But, yeah, he's been great in right field, of course. And then Grant McCray, who's been a topic of many conversations in the series, has bounced back. He got off to a rough start, and his last month has been really good, from what I can tell. Yeah, you see April and May were fine. Like, he wasn't doing anything great. April was rough, but May turned it on, and then June is fantastic. I kind of moved him into like a not limited role, but I called up Michael Molinax, who was just destroying AAA. I couldn't keep him down there any longer, so I called him up. He's now playing every 5th game out in center, kind of spelling McCray, and then he plays when Clark and Kira are tired as well. But I think lessening McCray's workload has kind of helped him out. So yeah, he's been much better. We're gonna hang on to him for at least the rest of the season. We'll see what happens when we hit that. Then I guess we can go to our best hitter so far, Luis Angel Acuna, who has just been fantastic. In the middle to back part of our order, he's batting 6th right now, but could move up due to some underperformance by Bo Naylor, who has just been dreadful after a 4-win season last year, on pace for a -2 WAR. I'm not sure what happened here. His BABIP is low, but I mean, last year his BABIP was low too, and he had a great year, not hitting the ball out of the ballpark. His ratings did just get an increase in the last scouting report. Yeah, he got a little bit of a ratings boost in that last scouting report. I'm hoping he can bounce back because I really like him, and we could really use a really good left-handed hitter because Max Clark's been good. His defense has been insane. 10.2 zone rating through 78 games is what he's got on pace for. Over 20 in left field, which, I mean, just insane. And then I guess we can, with the bat, he's been good. Not great, but he's been a good leadoff hitter. We called up Austin Jerger, another guy who was just destroying AAA. I couldn't keep him down there. Called him up. He's batting 3rd for me right now. We needed a first baseman. I guess we should just get to that right now. Gage Workman has dealt with a couple injuries, so we discussed... Actually, no, he wasn't out at the beginning of the year, but... where the heck are we? Yeah, so it was a couple games into the season, and he was playing shortstop because we didn't have a dude there, and then he strained his PCL, out for 4 weeks, comes back and played maybe a couple weeks, and then strained this, I assume the same PCL. He's now out 7 weeks. So it's been a lost season for him so far. He's been good when he's been out there, but yeah, we definitely could use his bat out there. Out for 2 more weeks, so he'll be back soon. But yeah, it was rough because him and Swanson were both out at the same time, because it was about a week, I think, that we had to go with, I think I called up, what's his name, Allen down here? Yeah, Nick Allen. He was horrible. The dude that, the international free agent signing we had, what's his name? Is he hurt? Oh, Meng. Meng was with the team. He was so bad. So I wound up sending him down, and it's been a revolving door in the infield, especially at second base, which we just cannot seem to solve. But Acuna is there right now. Naylor's at 3rd. Jerger's at 1st, and then Sully Matthias has been playing a little bit of first base. He was doing much better at the beginning of the year. Check out his April and May, just like insane numbers. WRC plus up near like 150, and then June the wheels have just come off completely. Really derailing his season. But overall, like not horrible numbers over the course of the year. And Basabe's been a solid backup infielder. Really happy with him. He was playing second base for a little bit, and then Bayron Lora has gotten a little bit of time in the starting lineup. He's actually playing against lefties right now. I'm kind of platooning him and Jerger. And yeah, I guess that's about it. We just swept San Diego after we took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. So we've been on a good roll. We're going to go to the deadline here, or I guess we'll hit the draft first. That's in a couple days. I'll just sum up to that off camera. It's quite a bit away, but I didn't even go over Molinax, actually. He hasn't gotten a ton of time, but he's had 60 plate appearances. Been fine. Really our needs, when Workman comes back, that'll clog up second base at least, but I don't know if I want to roll with Bo Naylor out there at first base. He's been bad. He's going to have to prove something in the next 2 weeks with Workman out, or we're going to have to go make a trade. So I've already looked at the market a little bit. It'll obviously develop a little bit more, but Bregman would be sick to bring in, of course, but not having a great year. I don't know what his value is. I don't even want to look. Then MJ Melendez. I did look at him, and it would take giving up a legit piece. So let's go into this really quick. But he would really clog or fill that void of a left-handed bat. I don't know if he could play first base, but we could DH him or something. I don't know. We'd find a spot for him. But yeah, it would take up giving up probably Drew Hackenberg, who's been down in AAA for most of the year. Just had like an abysmal performance. I sent him down, and he hasn't found his way back up. But yeah, I would take like giving up a legit piece. So I don't know. We're gonna hold out, and hopefully some guys improve before the deadline, and we're not forced to make a deal like that. But I'm not opposed to bringing in a dude. So yeah, let's sum up to the draft, come back, and regroup there. All right, we're up to the first-year player draft here, and we have the 28th pick. And let's see who goes number 1. So Texas takes. It's a good call. I like this guy, Pete Keene, pretty well developed, 21-year-old, good defensive outfielder. Could be a stud. Probably will be a stud. Andy Scarlett, not quite as keen on that one. That's more of a dart throw that I would take like outside of the top 5. Jaden Seawood, not a good personality, but fine. Huge upside here with Shabazz. Apparently his nickname is 0141. I wonder what the deal with that is, but good high upside throw. Same with Ochoa there. So let's sum up to our pick. And just want to see if there's any. This guy's a 30 overall. Not opposed. But yeah, let's see who our scout wants us to take, just to test the waters. And I actually love this. I love this pick. Late in the first round, really excellent upside. Good pitch mix. Leader, high adaptability, high work ethic. 6'7", 205. So a lengthy dude, a chance to fill out that frame if that actually happens in this game. Let's look around a little bit more. Jesus Flores, not a good defensive player, not enough to draft in the first round. Tim Hill, just a reliever, another reliever. Not a good defender. Yeah, Robbie Watkins, I like him quite a bit. Even though he's a high school arm, obviously those guys tend to bust, but sometimes you find a good one. I don't necessarily count those guys out in the first round, especially because it's tough to get high-end pitching in this game. I like this guy too, Earl Ekdar. Sidearmer, don't love the sidearm. The platoon splits are a little bit much sometimes when it comes to those guys, and I've had bad luck with sidearm pitchers. Another outfielder. I don't know if we can bring in another outfielder, especially not in the first round here. So I like Zach McDougal. Ooh, He's fragile though, so that kind of kills it. Maybe he falls to the second round. Who knows? Weirder things have happened in this game for sure. I definitely like this Jaden Stroman guy too. Definitely intrigued by his floor and his upside, and defense, and high leader, high intelligence, low greed. I hope Stroman falls to the second round. I don't think he would. But I'm going to take the pitcher, I think. I think the upside is too much to pass up. Even though the control is at a 20 currently, he's only 17. If this is according to real life rules, I haven't really looked into it too much, but 17-year-olds actually get an extra year before you have to add them to the 40-man compared to an 18-year-old. So being 17 at the time of the draft is huge. Over the top, ground baller, good stamina. Good pitch mix. The fastball and sinker pretty well developed. He has a slider that is a kind of nothing pitch, but 5 pitches is better than 4, no matter what that 5th pitch is. And then the stuff and movement's pretty well developed. So I think Watkins is the pick here. It's a high gamble throw, but again, if we're picking this late in the draft, you got to throw some upside here, or you're just never gonna get a good player. So. Let's do it. We'll draft Watkins. And I really hope that shortstop's here, but... he is. So Jaden Stroman's chilling. Definitely at the top of my board right now. Let's go look at a couple more guys. Preferably looking for an infielder here. David Ramirez is interesting. A little more bust potential, of course. Ricky Stevens, another guy I like. So maybe we can double dip and take a couple of these guys if they fall. Which I think there will be some players that fall for sure. Jax Bishop is a nice arm. Dang, yeah. If he wound up falling to the second round, or third round, I'd consider him too. Not the biggest upside, but really excellent floor. Okay, yeah, so I think I've got the pick here. I think it's got to be... where did he go? It's got to be Stroman, I think. The floor is solid. The defense is good. Good personality. Low demand. Yeah, I think he checks all the boxes in a guy I'd take here. So, really successful draft so far, I think. I've taken a couple good players. Ron Butterfield, probably not a guy I'd take. Although, I don't know. He's not the worst player in the world. Josh Anderson's got big power upside, but I hate that archetype. Mike Landon, same story. So, Jax Bishop's here. I think both of the shortstops that I liked, I think they're both gone. Yeah, D'Elia is not really the guy that I wanted. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually really cool taking Jax Bishop here. He can pitch in probably Double-A right now for me. Probably Triple-A, maybe even the majors, but we'll take it slow with him. We'll probably send him to Double-A to start. And looks like there's a high school arm that I really like, but let's go to infielders really quick. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. This guy's got a high floor. Carter Smith. Is the upside good enough to take him here, though? I'm not sure. A lot of times these guys will have a jump in development. I'm intrigued by Carter Smith, though. Maybe I take him here. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of pitching in our system. No one is with as high of a floor as Bishop, but some guys that I really like. Our infield depth is really bad, though. And Carter Smith can play Double-A for me right now, too. See, the OSA loves him. But my scout is a little lower on him, but still likes him. What does he say in the report? Above average hitters, good defensive player, good runner. Rough day. Okay, yeah. So he's going to be like a really good all-around player. I think this has value, but I don't know if it has as much value as taking an arm like this. But that being said, I think I'm going to take Carter Smith here. And we'll see if Bishop drops to the 4th round. I'm not going to bank on that happening, obviously, but... And he does, so that works out well. We're going to take Bishop here in the 4th. So, there you go. This draft is played out beautifully for us here. Yeah, I'll do the rest off camera, and we'll come back and update what happens here. Alright, so we're just past the All-Star break. Just sim through it. So, here are the All-Stars for the AL. See, MJ Melendez, trade target, makes it. And then we swing over to the NL, and we have a couple guys here. So, started pitcher, Kevin Gausman makes it. Really good first half of the year for him. Hopefully he can keep it up. Jalen Beeks also makes it. That's his 2nd career All-Star appearance. Was one of those for us? 2025. That was for us. So that's his 2nd career and 2nd for us in just 2 seasons for us. And for hitters, we had Sully Matthias making his 2nd. Probably mostly fueled off of the first couple months of the year. He's been fine, I guess, the last month. But, yeah, the June really just tanked his season, which sucks. He's still been good. And then we had one more guy. Oh, yeah, Max Clark, who has put up 3.6 WAR despite just a 112 WRC plus because he has a 13.6 zone rating. So yeah, it's been we're now at 62 and 37. Let's go through the draft and what happened there. So went over the first round pick, Watkins. We went over Stroman, Smith, Bishop. We took this guy Chris Bradley in the 5th round. Pretty good upside, starting pitcher here. So we'll see if he turns in anything. Took this guy, Jared Bewer. Good personality. Not the best defensive player, but could grow. Who knows? Still young. We want to take in this guy, Ron Butterfield, in the 7th. Jimmy Ford in the 8th. Good defender. Danny Clark, outfielder, in the 9th round. And then Jamie DeForest, an infield prospect, in the 10th round. Then we threw some darts at some pitchers kind of the next couple of rounds. None of them too exciting. And then I like this guy, Jaden Knight. We got him in the 15th round. Hitting well in rookie ball so far. Actually, I'm going to call him up to A because he's pretty well developed. Yeah, then just a couple, late round picks. Who knows if those guys even make it through the year on my team. But yeah, 6th in runs scored, 4th in runs against. Second in starters ERA. I think we're pretty set, I think. We called Hackenberg back up. He's made a couple starts. He's been fine. The peripherals actually look quite good for him. Just a 2.78 FIP on the year. We did wind up sending down Henderson, who's just kind of struggling as a starter, so he'll probably come back up eventually. And then Raynel Duran, an interesting case here. So, former top prospect, like top 10 prospects. Yeah, he peaked at number 8 at the midseason 2026. And he's just kind of, he might have just flamed out for me. He's having just a dreadful season down in AAA. 6.73 FIP. Giving up way too many homers. Walking an absurd amount of guys that he's never really done in his career. Still striking out a ton, but man, I just don't know if he's a viable pitcher anymore. He's in his last option here, so we could still kind of sell high on him. So he's probably a guy I'm going to look to move here at the deadline. He doesn't really have a role for me long term. Like, is he a reliever or is he a starter? He's probably a reliever, which doesn't have a ton of value. So let's look around, see what we can get. Kevin Hollowell. I might be able to get him for cheaper than Duran here. I'd love like a nice middle of the rotation rental arm, like Kyle Harrison type, but he's on a decent extension there. Let's see. Jamie Melendez kind of fits that. He's 2 more years of control has been absurd. .1 home runs per 9. I mean, yeah, he has 40 stamina, but okay. Jamie Melendez, Jaime Melendez, sorry, is now at the top of my list. Yeah, the Astros really want him. Maybe they could work some of their magic on him. Who knows? Nick Lodolo, another guy that I like. Free agent after the season. Having a decent year. We might be able to pick him up. Luke Little, nice arm, but more of a reliever. Tink Hence, always a big fan of him. Not having a good year, though. Hunter Owen, another guy, is pretty decent. Brian Bayo, I actually really like him. Free agent after the season. Mike Burrows. Luis Patino, who signed to a minor league deal. They took him in the Rule 5 draft because he wasn't on my 40 man and whatever. That was stupid. Now he's having a great year. Marcos Fortuno. This is interesting. A starter, pretty balanced, like good 5th starter. Decent stamina. Not having a good year, but I mean that could be attributed to anything. Who's their catcher? Yeah, their catcher is pretty awful. I'm intrigued by Fortunato. I wonder if they'd be interested in giving him up for cheaper. Ricky Tiedemann. Kind of low stamina, but having a heck of a season on a reasonable extension that's not gonna like be team breaking. It's just a matter if he can stay with that 40 stamina. If that gets any worse, then things could look ugly. So, how has he been trending according to our scouting reports? So, it looks like June 2025, he lost 10 stamina. I wonder what the deal with that was. He did gain some velocity. Did he have an injury or something? Okay, he did. So, he tore his flexor tendon, which probably led to his drop in stamina. They signed him to a 5-year extension afterwards. Still having a really good year and still a valuable pitcher. Giving him 6 innings. 5-6 innings. I'm intrigued by Tiedemann. So yeah, there's definitely value here for Duran. I really want to pick up Tiedemann, but I think who the heck was that other guy we were looking at? Melendez here. Similar pitcher. We probably have him for less seasons. He might get expensive pretty quick there. And he does have a really good track record. His low control concerns me because that means he might not pitch later into games. It could be like a Cam Robinson type who literally just 5 and fly. I still haven't really figured out the value of these guys. I think Melendez has a lot of value, but I don't know what the value of a 5-inning starter is. It's at least worth looking at here. So yeah, let's look at this really quick. So Melendez having a fantastic season. Does it even make sense for the Astros? In division, still competing. I really don't think that makes any sense for them to deal him for Duran. Yeah, let me think about this. I'll cut back in a little bit, and we'll regroup on this trade. I'm intrigued though, so we'll come back. Okay, so I think I have a few moves lined up that could push us over the top. So we have this Duran trade. Duran for Melendez. I get it for the Astros. They have a surplus of starting pitching. Maybe they think Duran's more like this guy who still has some upside. And he's obviously under control for 5 or 6 seasons, whatever it happens to be. And Melendez is going to get expensive. Only has 2 years of control, or I guess a year and a half. And yeah, they're trying to leverage some of their, their team's getting expensive, obviously, and they already have a bunch of pitchers under contract, so I get it. Dylan Cease making a ton of money. Hunter Brown, due to be a free agent, might have to pay him. So, also they have Luis Robert. Oh, he's no good. Okay. So yeah, they're expensive. They want to get rid of a guy who's going to get way more expensive, and they probably don't see him as like a starter, even though he's had a really good year as one. And they get Duran, who's got better stamina, whatever. So that trade is also supplemented with the other one that we're looking at, Tiedemann. So his asking price is a little bit lower. So we are throwing in Vicente Vidana, who's one of my higher valued pitchers. Just looking around, 21 years old, I get it. 2 really good pitches, could have a changeup, a couple of changeups that are good. But he hasn't really produced at any level in the minors at this point. He's 21, almost 22. So I'm cool giving him up. Then we're throwing in some minor league depth. Jake Eddington, Jason Woodward, Mungia, who has hit extremely well in AAA for us, and then Warren Laster, just another guy, kind of threw in, hitting well in AA. And they're going to eat 50% of Ricky Tiedemann's deal, which would be like $9 million a year we'd have to pay him in the last 2 seasons, then like $7 million next year. So yeah, there we go. I think we're going to do both of these trades. We're going to pick up 2 top of the rotation arms, throw in there, and we're completely geared up now for the playoffs. So there's the Tiedemann trade. And let's go to the Astros. There's the Melendez trade. So completely overhauling our pitching staff here. That's going to kick 2 of these guys out. I think it's probably going to be Robinson and Hackenberg at this point. It could be Blanco, though. But, yeah, Blanco's not really giving us the distance that Robinson's at least giving us 5. Yeah, and I kind of want to ride it out with Robinson in the rotation. So, Blanco and Hackenberg are both going to get booted out, even though Hackenberg's been fine as a starter. But, yeah, we're going to have to open up a couple of roster spots. So I'm going to do this off camera. We'll come back and update in just a second. All right, so one last trade to report. Carlos Gutierrez, minor league depth. He's a fine prospect and hitting well in AA. Could regret this, but he's 23 years old, almost 24. And minor league free agent signing in the offseason, so nothing really lost there. And we're picking up Jeff McNeil. Who's kind of been a target of mine for a couple of years. Obviously, an interesting profile offensively, to say the least. Defensively, not really there, but can play some corner outfield, play first and second, a little bit third. Yeah, he's just going to be a good bench bat for us. So that's pretty much all the moves I think we're going to make here. We'll have to open up a roster spot for McNeil. Jerger's hit too well to lose his spot. Laura is a Rule 5 guy that I still want to keep, but man, he's been so bad. He hasn't even hit a home run this year, which is kind of his calling card. So, but I'd still like to keep Laura if I can. Bassaby's been too good to send down. I don't know if Laura has any value for, like, if I was to flip him. He's a Rule 5 guy, so shoot. I thought I had something. There was something in my head that said this would make sense before I made this deal. I might just have to release Laura, unfortunately. He just hasn't been good enough to justify a roster spot. And you know what? We're going for a World Series this year, so we have to do this. So McNeil will be added to the roster, and that'll probably do it for this episode. He'll slot into the corner spots, backing up, and then he'll be like our first pinch hitter off the bench. We got Jerger, we got Basby. I think this is a World Series team. I don't know if there's a World Series lineup, but we did it last year, so who's to say we can't do it again? Basby will be your pinch runner, I guess. Yeah, Bo Naylor, he'll somewhat keep his job. Jerger is going to play every other game. He's been too good, and Naylor's been so bad, so something's got to give here. For the next month, they're going to fight it out, and then last month of the season, we'll push with our best guys, and Hopefully this all kind of works itself out in the end. But yeah, a lot going on this episode. A lot of trades, a lot of roster shuffling, and just trying to gear this team up. Something that we really haven't done as aggressively as I would have liked in the series. That's weird. Why is it not showing all of Tiedemann's stats? Only 2 games started, and there's 21 here for Melendez. That makes no sense. But anyway, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for hopefully some playoffs, and hopefully we can repeat as champions. But yeah, we'll see you then. Bye.